her position.
The post players for Connecticut have done an outstanding job of pushing Betts just a few feet away from that area where she completely dominates under the cylinder.
Now something to watch, Rebecca. Now Strong is the 5 in this lineup as Strong connects on another 3. Sarah Strong also has one personal.
So this is going to be a tough guard for Sarah Strong on the defensive end because she will have Lauren Betts. It will be an equally tough guard for Betts on the other end.
Here's Barker, the handoff. Rice spinning, had it poked. And a held ball. Possession arrow belongs to Connecticut. That is going to be a 6th turnover for UCLA.
Sarah Strong here, she has been money from the three-point line over the course of the last couple of games, and it's going to be a tough task for Lauren Betts to come out on the perimeter and defend Sarah Strong there.
You know, Oriema has told us if Sarah Strong was coming out in the draft this year, she would be a lottery pick. I think everybody would concur with that, the way she has played this season in this tournament. Here's Fudd. Fudd's 3. Banks in! Lazy Fudd, who started the Elite 8 0 for 9, starts the Final Four 3 for 3. 10-point Connecticut lead. Barker nearly lost it. Barker trying to take Beckers, fading away, can't get it to drop. Betts working through some contact from Strong, was unable to finish. Here comes Connecticut in transition. Arnold dishing, Shades 3, no.
And on this end of the floor, when Connecticut's in their smaller lineup, it's Paige Beckers who can play the 4 position. We saw her in Barker last possession defensively.
And Corey Close felt like Barker would have to be big in this game for UCLA for them to come away with a win. Thought the 4 possession in general would. Here's Betts, back to work on Strong, able to finish. KK Arnold came over but could do nothing against Betts.
The previous possession, KK Arnold was able to get her hands on the basketball, but not that time.
21-13, Connecticut in front. Winner faces South Carolina. Beckers off. Barker the rebound. Championship game Sunday, 3 Eastern on ABC. Here's Rice kicking out. Barker, and a foul on the floor against Ashlyn Shade. That's a first-team All-American. Inbound goes to Jaquez. First in program history for Lauren Betts. Here's Rice. Betts with El Alfie there. Strong doubling. Gardner's 3. Nearly banked in, and it's tapped out of bounds by Betts with 18.7 left in the quarter.
That's an area where Lauren Betts really excels. She feels the double team. She's not rushed. She finds the player who's open on the weak side of the floor. Does that as well as any big.
Saw Gardner miss there. She went 5 for 8 from 3 in the Elite 8 win for UCLA over LSU. Here's Beckers, 3 seconds left. Beckers at the buzzer. You bet! Two games all season, both of those were to USC. They eventually avenged that with a Big Ten championship win against them, and another turnover from UCLA. There's 7. Fudd can't get it to drop. Bounces out to Beckers. Her jumper is off as well. Fudd is going to let it go out of bounds.
Last possession, UConn in a zone defense. We talked about the fact that they're going to change things up at that end of the floor.
Beckers, Arnold, Fudd, Strong, El Alfie. The 5 for Connecticut. London Jones, Jaquez, Gardner, Rice, and Betts for UCLA. Here's Fudd off the handoff. 6 to shoot. Fudd leaning, got hit. Foul called on Kiki Rice, and free throws here for AC Fudd. She's liking retirement thus far. Didn't have to start up the engines in January for the season. Feeling good about the decision. As Fudd hits the first free throw. That foul was UCLA's first of the game. Called on Rice. Fudd off to a good start here in the Final Four. 9 points on 3 of 4 shooting.
Connecticut continuing to extend its pressure.
Jaquez couldn't twirl it in. Here's Fudd attacking. Fudd's pull-up is good. AZ Fudd is dialed in Tampa.
And this pressure is as much to take time off the shot clock as it is to try to get a steal. Again, Connecticut in a 2-3 zone.
Connecticut is just on a string right now. Dugalich turns. No. Strong the rebound. Here's Arnold. And going the other way. That's going to be on El Alfie, and that is going to be her second foul. And you can see Gino saying, come.
It's just coming, or KK is just coming too quickly towards her. The guard has to let their post get set so they don't get that moving foul called.
So El Alfie goes to the line now. Ice Brady, who's dealt with a shoulder injury this season. You see the brace on her left shoulder into the game. Kiki Rice, courtesy of Railcam. Betts surrounded. Rice has it deflected by Beckers out of bounds. 12 to shoot for UCLA.
You see in this zone, as soon as Lauren Betts caught it on the block, a second defender came. She made the right pass. I think UCLA, if they had one more to the corner, they could have had an open look for 3.
They've not heard much from Jaquez yet in this game, who was terrific in the Elite Eight, and a 5-second violation on UCLA. UConn has taken 7 more field goal attempts already than UCLA. That was key number 1 for Corey Close. She said, I know UConn's likely to be more efficient than us. We need to have extra possessions. It's gone the opposite way in the possession game thus far. Fudd giving it up. Arnold dishes. Ice Brady waits to the corner. Strong. No, and Betts on the weak side, trying to spring a break for the Bruins. Here's Betts, the All-American, twists inside, couldn't finish it. Barker gets held up, and it's out of bounds off of UCLA. It'll be Connecticut basketball. How about this?
There.
And definitely last hit Barker's hands out of bounds. Great call. Underneath the hoop. And a whistle here will go against UCLA. Board this season as Beckers can't hit that one. Close taking this program to its first Final Four in the NCAA era. Went to 2 semifinals in the AIAW days, won a national championship then in 1978. But since 1982, when it became the NCAA, this is their first trip. As Strong catches the air ball off of bounds.
Great recovery, though, by Paige Beckers. Helped in and was still able to get out with a strong contest.
Beckers lost her defender. Corey Close wanted an offensive foul on Beckers. Here's Strong off the screen and roll. And a travel on Sarah Strong as Connecticut turns it over for just the 3rd time this half.
You see the terrific as an anchor inside. In their losses, they have struggled from the 3-point line. Vitally important for UCLA to find some perimeter shooting.
Yeah, their 2 losses, they were combined 7 for 33, 21%. As Betts gets a deep touch and finishes on the delivery from Barker. This season, UCLA 25-0 when they hit at least 6 threes. Here's Fudd, thought about pulling, instead will drive it. Beckers getting a breather for Connecticut as Arnold rims out. Barker the rebound. Can UCLA take advantage? No. Barker just throws it out of bounds, trying to get it to Rice, and immediately her teammates on the bench stand up to try and encourage her, calm her down after the turnover as Barker checks out and Gardner comes back in for UCLA.
Yeah, UCLA's out of sorts. They're out of sorts a little bit, and Kiki Rice doing a good job bringing them in together.
10 turnovers for UCLA. They turn it over just 15 times per game on average. Arnold looking in. Arnold spinning, dishing. Brady's mid-range is good as Connecticut takes advantage again on a UCLA turnover. A 14-2 edge in points off turnovers in favor of Connecticut. Here's Gardner. Jaquez dumps it in. Betts just going right to work on ice. Brady. Lauren Betts, 11 points. Arnold gets fouled by London Jones, and KK Arnold will shoot 2. We'll step aside. Connecticut a 12-point lead.
From every direction. She had a nice pass out. Turnover by UCLA. Then another.
Corey Close has talked to us about is all season long she was trying to create manufactured chaos for her team so that they could learn to adjust and thrive in those positions. She said, I was trying to find the right balance every day of practice between struggle and joy, create that healthy tension. Felt like that's what her group needed after they fell in the Sweet 16 last year to LSU. Has obviously worked up until this point, getting to the Final Four for the first time in the NCAA era, and going to need that now, down 13 to Connecticut.
Connecticut in man-to-man.
Here's Betts with Brady on her. Betts dishes out. Rice will take the 3 and hit. That's a big one for Kiki Rice in UCLA.
What a tough shot as well. It wasn't just a catch and shoot. She had the step back going to her left.
Rice, the talented junior, first team All Big Ten this season. Here's Beckers looking to take Betts. Fudd off. Rebound. Shade was in there and a held ball. Possession arrow belongs to Connecticut. Hey, coming up at halftime, it's the Dove halftime report with El Dove. Freshman was off the bench in the first game tonight.
Getting a chance to see 2 of the top freshmen in the country here in this Final Four with Sarah Strong and Joyce Edwards.
Here's Fudd's jumper. She got it. Azzi Fudd, 5 of 7 in this first half. And that created by Ashlyn Shade on the offensive glass, getting them another opportunity. Here's Betts, draws 2. London Jones gets absolutely smashed by Paige Beckers. That'll be the 3rd team foul on Connecticut and the 1st on Beckers.
Once again, the right decision by Lauren Betts when the back from Paige Beckers.
Inbound and a foul on Fudd. That'll be her first. The 4th team foul on Connecticut. Not much of a reaction from Gino Auriemma on that one. Arnisalo tiptoes baseline. Big shot here for Jones. Airmailed it. Here comes Chen. The Princeton transfer to the corner. Fudd. You bet! Azzi Fudd is on a Tampa burner. Connecticut has won 21 straight when Fudd scores at least 15. She already has 16. Now off the steal. Fudd can't get that one to fall. Betts the rebound. Rice dashing ahead. Rice, the elongated Euro, couldn't finish it.
She should have gone right into Paige Beckers. Paige has 1, would not have picked up 2.
Chen flags it down after the poke away. Beckers looking to turn the corner, leaning, can't hit. Defended well there by Betts. Corey Close talks to us all the time about Betts' ability to still defend guards in space at that size. Here's Betts. Deep catch, got pushed too far underneath the hoop. Fudd, pull-up jumper, that one's off. Rice hugs the rebound, but it gives Connecticut a chance to tie her up. This time, UCLA has the possession arrow.
You know, Ryan, we talked in the Elite 8 game. Azzi Fudd really struggled for for much of that game, shooting the basketball. And out of a timeout, Gino Auriemma ran a play to get her going. She got going in the fourth quarter, and she is still hot since that game.
AZ joked with us when they first drew up the elevator screen play. She said, wait, is he really drawing it up for me right now? She had been 0 for 9 at that time through 3 quarters. Here's Dugalic turning, flipping, and banking it in, as Strong had to be careful with 1 foul already.
Really nice finish by Dugalic.
Beckers ended up in more space than expected and said, okay, I'll take it. Arnisalo loses it. Strong has it in transition. Beckers, what a feed! The touch pass!
If it was worth it, but I stuck with it, and here she is on the biggest stage.
Coming back to Connecticut for another season next year, as Strong comes up with a knockaway. Another UCLA turnover, their 13th. Corey Close just shaking her head. Chen fakes the 3, Fudd one more. Oh yeah! AZ Fudd on a torrential tear here in Tampa. 19 in the first half. Rice, no. El Alfie the rebound. Connecticut looking like a machine in this first half. Beckers. El Alfie. Back to Fudd. Fudd gives it up. 10 to shoot. Beckers from the logo. Airballs it out of bounds. Shot clock turned off.
Out of a timeout, Corey Close shot for UConn.
Now, Holly gave those numbers about time between games for AZ. It also was 961 days that passed, and Paige and AZ played just 2 games together over that span. They came to Connecticut together to play together. Finally are getting that chance this season and coming through. UCLA went too early there. Time for Connecticut. Chen with 5 seconds left. Beckers wrapping around. Strong. Does she get it off? She does not. And that will do it for the first half. Connecticut.
Tắt nhá. Tắt cho bạn Khả Nhi xinh xinh của mẹ nhá. Ôi, cái rau này chín rồi, để vớt ra thôi, không nó sẽ bị đỏ mất. Vớt rau ra, vớt rau ra. Vớt rau mỏng tơi luộc. Phải đặt Khả Nhi xuống thì mẹ mới làm được rồi. Đúng quá nhỉ. Nặng quá mẹ không bế được một tay nữa rồi. Con của mẹ lớn rồi. Mẹ không bế được con nổi một tay nữa rồi. Mẹ cắt cho con nhé. Cắt xong con đứng xuống đất. Đấy, để mẹ